What's up, Raiders? Bringing it back with another Ark Raiders video. Uh, this one is going to be talking about trials. I'm gonna try to keep it as short and sweet as possible, but I just want to go over what I think is good and what I think could be improved. Based off of, the trials that we've had so far. Obviously, trials give people something to work towards from a leaderboard standpoint. So I'm always for giving people more stuff to do, and I do like the trials system and idea. So I think they did a good job on that. Obviously, in the beginning with the earlier ranks, when we were doing like the rookie 1 through 3, even into try hard 3, it was pretty easy to get, your double promotions and all that. But as soon as I hit wild card and got into the, I guess, somewhat, not even like higher, I would say, tier, but I mean probably like mid, I would say, tier leaderboard. It seemed like it became increasingly harder to rank up. Obviously they do change, I think, when we were in the earlier ranks, as far as how many spots you had to get a double promotion was, I think, the top 20, I believe, is what it was. To get a double rank, it might have even been like the top 30. And then you had like one promotion, I think, was all the way through to like 60 or 70 or something like that. And then, so on and so forth. Basically, they gave you more wiggle room as far as getting your double and single or unchanged promotions. Once you hit wildcard, now it's top 10, get the double promotion, and then up to from rank 11 through 40, get the single, and then 41 through 80, don't get anything, and then 81 and below, you get deranked. So, as you can see on this week's so far, I'm ranked 31 with 26,000 points, but top person's 90, and I'm sure that'll end up going up into the 120 to 150,000 by the time this is all said and done. Last week, I was unchanged because I didn't really get to play as much, but if I remember correctly, the top person from last week on my leaderboard was 120 or 130, might have even been higher than that, but this kind of brings me to my points of, even though the system is a good idea, I like the system, there's some things that need to be changed with it. So the main thing that I realized from especially last week's trials with damaging the matriarch and queen is that trials that are time gated to certain conditions can be just a huge pain. Like, take Hidden Bunker, for instance. That one, I think, only comes into rotation maybe 2 or 3 times a day, I want to say. It's not up right now. So, for people who work, have kids, do other things other than setting alarms and marking stuff on a calendar for when they can jump on to do, this specific trial, you're at a huge disadvantage. Now, the difference between the damaging of the matriarch and the queen to hidden bunker is there's a twofold with hidden bunker. You get more time on the map. So a lot of people don't even really care so much about getting the hidden bunker points. What they're doing is they're using that extended time to go in and do things like damaging snitches, damage ground-based arc enemies, damage rocketeers. Probably not so much on the first wave Huss, but those 3 trials, you can really crank up the points because you have 10 extra minutes if you're on a fresh spawn. So, as opposed to everyone else that's usually playing on, like, you know, your 29-minute and some second maps, you have that extra time to sit there and just farm up points on these other trials. So, it's not just an advantage of being actually, you know, able to do the hidden bunker and get those points. It's getting the points towards everything else that people won't have that same time frame on a map to do because you're getting the extra 10 minutes from hidden bunker. So, I really feel with trials, they need to keep it to stuff that is going to be accessible at all times. Basically, you can go to any map and complete all 5 of the trials. It's just certain conditions might give you better, you know, results. Like doing first wave Huss when it's on like the Husk graveyard, and then if you can combine that with Husk graveyard and nighttime, if that's even a thing, or electromagnetic storm, because then you're getting like the double points. I'm okay with that side of it, because you can technically go in and on any condition, any map, do those trials. You're not time gated to, oh, I can only do damage to the matriarch and the queen at these certain times during the day, and if I don't get there at that time, then I'm screwed. In bunkers, even worse, because it comes around less often, at least from what I've seen and what I've been reading. It's like maybe 2 or 3 times a day, I think, and it's only for like a short period. I think it's for like an hour or 2 at most, I think. And then you also get that extra time on the map. So the major change that I would like them to do first is remove the trials that, you know, are only there for short periods of time or only certain periods of time. You should be able to do all of your trials at any point in time on pretty much any map. It's just you'll have those better conditions for certain things like the lush blooms or whatever, and the husk graveyards and stuff like that. Obviously those give you more of certain things, but I'm okay with that side of it. Don't care. I like the trials that it's like damaging the rocketeers or damaging flying, you know, arcs, or ground-based, or, you know, searching for like or harvesting and, you know, hitting the husks and stuff like that. I know they're kind of keeping these as like a PvE focused one, but I think what they could do is they could take these time-gated ones like hidden bunker and damaging the queen and matriarch and stuff like that, and put a PvP one in there. Now I know people will be up in arms like, oh my god, PvP and PvE, all this stuff, but at the end of the day, the game is a PvPvE game. So PvP is part of the game, whether you like it or not. I enjoy PvP. I don't enjoy the scummy, you know, extract camping, pretending you're friendly and backstabbing and ratting and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's an extraction shooter, it's a PvPvE game, and that's going to be part of it. So you got to take the good with the bad, right? And it does keep things interesting, and you're on your toes because of it. So, in that sense, I would like them to actually have something PvP related to the trials, or the people who actually like doing the PvP. Because maybe everyone, you know, not everyone, but maybe there's people that are like, you know what, I don't want to do anything with the trials because it's all PvE type stuff, or it's all collecting type stuff. I want to be able to go and shoot other raiders, so get X amount of points of damage on raiders, or do something cool like raider kills, or a combination of both, to make it interesting for both PvE and PvP players. So that would be one thing that they could take that, you know, time-gated trial out and replace it with. The other thing that they kind of have to do is they have to figure out something between late spawns and the trials, because a lot of people will say load up on Wolfpack grenades to go into do like damaging the Rocketeers or damaging ground-based arcs and things like that. And they'll take in, you know, certain specific gear to, you know, try to get the highest score they possibly can with those trials. And it sucks when you go in and, like, you hit that late spawn raid where it's like 15 minutes, 18 minutes, you know, even 20 or 25 minutes. Like, you almost want to have a fresh raid, because then you can maximize the time to get your points. If you don't have that, then it's basically like, alright, I have to try to beeline it to the closest extract to try to restart, you know, to get back in. And you can literally risk losing all of that stuff just getting to an extract and not even being able to really try to do the thing that you came in there to do, because you got a late spawn and you're just going to basically waste resources. Now, again, I understand it's an extraction shooter. Whatever you bring in, you risk losing it, because you could spawn in on a fresh one, start running towards where you want to go to set up to do your trials or whatever, and you could get killed. So it works that way as well. But at least I can say, well, it was a fresh raid. I had every opportunity to try to maximize my stuff, as opposed to, well, I got spawned in at 15 minutes and I took, you know, 3 steps out of my spawn and somebody happened to, you know, be coming towards there and I get smacked and I lose all my stuff. And I wouldn't have even been able to really do my trial anyway. At least not to the maximum benefit. So those are just some things that they need to adjust and work on, because it really does suck to die and lose all your stuff when you don't even have a fresh spawn and really a chance to maximize your points. So those are my 2 major things. Take out the time-gated ones, maybe throw in some PvP-related trials to replace that, and then work something with late spawns and trials and stuff like that. I know it's going to be hard, but that's a big one too that a lot of people, you know, talk about. Kind of going back and ending this on a positive note, I do like that everything is kind of like, you know, either reward-wise from the weekly ones. It's basically like weapons, weapon attachments, blueprints, and I've gotten blueprints that I haven't found yet, you know, getting into like the 4,000 range and stuff like that, or even I think the 2,500 I've gotten blueprints off of. So that's really cool. I like that. I do like that everything rank-wise is basically all cosmetic and emotes. There's no, like, you know, oh man, I'm gonna get some 5 extra skill points if I finish in Cantina Legend or something like that, you know, anything crazy. So, overall, I think the system is a good system. I like having a leaderboard. I like that they have this in the game. They just have to do some tweaking, which I'm sure they'll make some adjustments in that, and obviously it really helps with getting feedback from the community. So make sure that you continue to voice your opinions on how you feel about certain things, not just trials, you know, late spawns, you know, obviously glitches that still need to be fixed, because that old saying of the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Yeah, so keep up the good work on that side, and other than that, I appreciate you hanging out and watching the video. If I kept your interest up to this point, I would appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button for me, as it really helps out the channel. I am trying to hit the 100 subscriber mark by the end of the year. I'm at 89 right now, and it obviously helps out with the algorithm and all that fun stuff. Leave your comments down below. If you like the video, if you think my thought process on trials is going in the right direction, what you like with them, what you don't like with them, you know, and suggestions that you would like to see as far as things to change, not only with trials, but with other systems and things in the game. Alright, Raiders, we'll see you topside. Peace out till the next one. Deuces.